The story of medicine is a tale as old as humanity itself, a journey from ancient wisdom to modern disarray. It began in the cradle of civilization, where healers worked hand in hand with nature, harnessing the power of plants, roots, and spiritual energy. Over centuries, this holistic knowledge was eroded, suppressed, and manipulated, paving the way for today's profit-driven pharmaceutical empire. To understand how we arrived here, we must first look back to where it all began. The roots of healing, herbalists, shamans, and ancient medicine men. In the earliest days, healing was a sacred art. Indigenous cultures worldwide relied on medicine men, shamans, and root workers who understood the medicinal properties of plants. These healers were scientists in their own right, experimenting with herbs like willow bark, the precursor to aspirin, or foxglove, the source of digitalis for heart conditions. Healing was holistic, addressing not only the physical body but also the spirit and mind. This knowledge was often intertwined with spiritual practices. Shamans performed rituals to restore balance, while root workers used a combination of plant medicine and spiritual guidance. In many ancient societies, the healer was both revered and integral to the community's survival. But as societies evolved, so too did the structures that sought to control them. The church and the suppression of natural healing. The rise of organized religion, particularly the church, marked a turning point in the history of medicine. During the Middle Ages, the church viewed natural healing practices as pagan and heretical. Women who practiced herbal medicine, often midwives and wise women, were labeled as witches and persecuted during the Inquisition. The church's dominance stifled centuries of accumulated plant-based knowledge, replacing it with dogma and fear. Monasteries became the centers of medical knowledge, where healing was confined to prayer and divine intervention. This suppression of natural medicine created a vacuum that would later be filled by a new kind of authority, the burgeoning field of modern medicine. The Industrial Revolution and the birth of pharmaceuticals. The Industrial Revolution brought monumental shifts to every aspect of human life, including medicine. Tycoons like John D. Rockefeller, who amassed his fortune in the oil industry, recognized the profitability of pharmaceuticals. Petroleum derivatives became the foundation for a new wave of synthetic drugs, which were patented and mass-produced. This marked the beginning of the pharmaceutical industry as we know it today. At the same time, laws were enacted to marginalize natural and holistic healing practices. The Flexner Report of 1910, funded by the Rockefeller and Carnegie Foundations, revolutionized medical education in the United States. It emphasized pharmaceutical treatments and surgical interventions, while dismissing homeopathy, naturopathy, and herbal medicine as unscientific. Medical schools that taught these practices were defunded and shut down, consolidating power in the hands of allopathic medicine. Medicine for profit. Today, the pharmaceutical industry is a multi-billion-dollar behemoth. While it has undoubtedly made life-saving advancements, such as antibiotics and vaccines, its foundation is built on profit, not healing. Many of the drugs on the market today are derived from natural compounds, but synthesized in labs to be patented and monetized. The shift from plant-based remedies to petroleum-based pharmaceuticals has had dire consequences, including the rise of side effects, dependency, and chronic undertreatment. The treatment-for-profit model thrives on managing symptoms rather than addressing root causes. Chronic illnesses are particularly lucrative as patients become lifelong consumers of medication. This system discourages prevention and holistic approaches, which could empower individuals and reduce dependency on pharmaceutical products. Resurgence and resistance, the revival of natural medicine. Despite the suppression, natural and holistic healing practices have never truly disappeared. In recent decades, there has been a resurgence of interest in plant-based medicine, Ayurveda, acupuncture, and other traditional practices. This renaissance reflects a growing disillusionment with the modern medical-industrial complex and a desire to reclaim agency over one's health. However, these practices often face significant obstacles, from regulatory crackdowns to misinformation campaigns funded by pharmaceutical companies. The very laws that were designed to protect consumers are often weaponized against small herbalists and alternative practitioners, leaving the public at the mercy of a monopolized system. Balance is key. The history of medicine is a cautionary tale of how power, profit, and control can erode something as sacred as healing. Yet, it is also a story of resilience and hope. The wisdom of ancient healers still whispers through the leaves of plants and the pages of forgotten texts, waiting to be rediscovered. To build a healthier future, we must challenge the systems that prioritize profit over well-being. We must advocate for the integration of natural and holistic practices into modern medicine, creating a balance that respects both ancient wisdom and scientific innovation. Only then can we reclaim medicine as a force for healing rather than exploitation.